Okay, so we'll do one more shape. We're going to do this shape here. So it's going to be the same thing, a little bit more complex, but it's the same process. We start with a sketch and then extrude two pieces. So this is going to look similar to our last piece. We're going to start with the profile. So what we're going to do is we're going to start this off like we did with the last sketch. So it'll be a 1 by 1 L shape. So what I'm going to do is, again, click the sketch command, choose the plane we're going to work on. I'm going to choose the front plane, either switch to the front view or hit N on my keyboard. And I'll draw this one next to this last shape. So I'm going to click my line tool. I'm going to reference my origin. So I'm going to highlight over it and just drag over. So I'm kind of snapping into that same line. I'm going to draw a rough idea of the shape. Now, I could do this a different way now. If we're looking at this, I'm going to draw this profile. So this L profile. So what I can do is I can give the dimensions as I draw it. So what I can do is move in the direction I want to go and click once, and you'll see there's a square box around the dimensions. Now what I can do is I could type in 2, enter, and it already gives it a dimension. This is nice if you want to dimension as you go. So I can go now in the other direction, click once, I want this to be 1, and I can kind of work my way and define it as I go. It's one way to do things. It's depending on what we're doing, it can be easier. Sometimes it leaves us with more dimensions that we need. Um, and you can see I'm just referencing other geometry here. If you get something that's red like this means it's over defined. We have too many dimensions on here. So what it might mean is we have to go in and delete some dimensions because we might not need some of these. I can probably delete this guy, and that cleans it up for us. Right? It's assumed that it knows that this is 2 because it does the math for us. But like I said, you can put in the dimensions either before or after your drawing. So again, the dimensions are on the drawing. Great. We need to define this in space. So I click the dimension tool again. I click any point here I'm going to use, and I'm going to click the origin right here. And then I'll just make this 8 and hit enter. And that will just lock that in space. So now all my lines are black. That's what we want. I'm going to rename this sketch shape 3. And okay, great. Now what I want to do is extrude this. So if you look at our shape, I'm going to extrude one side, and then we'll worry about the other side. So I'm going to extrude this by clicking the extrude key. It's a new shape. We're going to come out 1 inch, and I'm going to click this space. Great. Let's call this shape 3. Beautiful. Now, let's look at our shape. We need to add a cube here. So we're going to add a cube to this piece here. So what I need to do is click the surface I want to create a sketch on, click the sketch command, and let's change the view to front or normal 2. And now what I can do is grab the rectangle, the same thing I did on the other one. Click this corner and drag to this corner. It will snap in place. And then I can, while I'm in the sketch command, I can just click extrude. And now I want to click the part I want to extrude. Sometimes it already assumes that it knows. Make sure it's adding to part 3. And I hit the green check mark and it combines. Now we have all 3 sketches, all 3 shapes in one drawing. I'm going to rename this part here, right click, rename, and this will be shape 3. So there's multiple ways to do one thing. All right. If I'm talking too fast in here, please let me know. Or remember, you can slow this video down.